Hey guys, I like to say this because it's just so fun. And every time I do a video, it's included, but I'm going to say it this time. So what you might want to do is test something that's real for you right now that you can test again in just a few moments, like how your neck moves, how your shoulders move, you know, just check everything out, how your back moves. You could stand up and bend backwards and bend forwards, bend side to side. You could walk around a little bit and just notice what you notice. Because in a little bit, you can notice again and see what's different. And what's come to me today on my run, I have some of the best ideas on my run. And this was a picture that Jen took at a place called Punch Bowl on the Columbia River Gorge. And we had just been 3 weeks sleeping in the dirt, really literally, while we were building an earthen house in just outside of Ashland, Oregon, in the Applegate Valley. And it was great. It was fun. It was cool. And our friends in Portland had moved, at least part-time. Now they're living there to somewhere Copenhagen, I believe. But they had a house in Portland, so we had a place to stay. So we, after our 3 weeks in in Ashland building an earthen house, we came up and started our trek to see where we wanted to live. And we did spend the whole summer around Portland and the Columbia River Gorge, and then came back to San Diego for a bit, and then went back up, and then went all the way up. And at Thanksgiving, I mean at Christmas, no, at Halloween in 2013, we landed in Bellingham, so just a little over 7 years ago, and then found our home here. But at this point, this is a picture that we were skipping stones, and it's the first time that Ben, he wasn't even 2 then. Yeah, he wasn't even 2. First time he saw somebody skipping a stone, and his face tells the whole story. I don't know if you can see it, but there's something that happens. I was doing some sessions with some amazing healers and coaches yesterday, and one of them was asking, like, how does it work? Like, what do you do, Ralph? And it's quite interesting because it's not quite the right question, although I understand why somebody would ask that. And there's something about this. There's something about that. I was having the time of my life. I had just gotten back my health after 2 years of not being able to run. And we're on an adventure, and we had sold a bunch of stuff, and we were on the road. And Jen, my beautiful wife Jen, is taking a picture of Ben, and that's the day he's having. And so, a few months earlier, that was in July of 2013. In December of 2012, it was a very synchronous kind of thing. I came up to Portland on a trip from Portland to then Seattle and then Vancouver. And we were taking a matrix energetics class at that time in Seattle, and we were visiting friends in Portland, and then we were going to go visit friends in Vancouver. And along the way, at the start of the trip, I got a very, very, very powerful homeopathic treatment from a really powerful homeopath. And he dialed it in for me. He totally dialed it in. And by that, I mean, I had this dream when I was like in life to like live in the Pacific Northwest. Ever since I saw a picture of 2 runners running in Oregon, I think it was Oregon or Seattle or somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, there was lots of trees, and Henry Rono was running for Washington State, and Alberto Salazar was running for Oregon, and they were running on a cross-country course, and there was trees. And I was out in West Texas picking up the mail out by this Highway 90, where you can see for the end of the earth, and there's nothing but sagebrush and white dirt called caliche. And I got my track and field news in the mail, and there was a picture of those guys with beautiful green trees. And I'm like, I'm going to live up there someday. And I thought it would be Seattle. I don't know why, and it came pretty close. 2 hours north of Seattle is where we ended up so far. And why am I telling you this story? Oh, so I got that homeopathic remedy, and started on a trek of like not drinking coffee for a year or more. He told me to do that, maybe 2 years, because that was for a year and a half or so. And I was walking around Southeast Portland when I was going to get my session from this homeopath. Malcolm Smith is his name. And he, I was like, oh man, it was a Sunday morning and people were going out and getting their coffee and walking around and the day was starting and there was a little town with little craftsman houses and rolling hills and trails and sidewalks, you know, actual city. And I was like, oh man, I would so love to live in this place. And so he did his thing. And a few months later, we were on the road in that same area, looking for where to live. And then we found a place with even more trees and even more beautiful places to run. And and this is where we were as we were starting that journey. So there's something when somebody says, how do you do this, Ralph? Like, how can somebody be different from an internet over the airwaves or even just watching a video later, energetic, matrix energetics or instant miracle or whatever this is? How can somebody be different? And it's like, the thing is, I don't even know how this works. I don't know how Zoom works or Facebook Live or how you can have a wireless device and talk to somebody in China. I don't know how it works. I don't think most of us really know how it works. Light, information traveling on light through the air, like what? But the cool thing is, most of the time a lot of us know how to push the right buttons to get it to happen. And so it's kind of like that. And to give you a bit of a sense of what it's really about, it's about what's going on here. It's about what's going on here. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. And you can feel it if you want, or if you can, or if you notice it. It's there for you now. Yeah. And we could talk about like, how does this work or why does it work? Or, and there's, you split an atom and you can have an atomic bomb or a nuclear reactor and have power lots of energy. And there's the idea of like how much energy is in the vacuum in space. There's all sorts of things you can use with your mind to try to figure it out. But that starts to get really loopy because it starts to lose its logic and it just breaks down completely. Kind of like when the scientists go and look inside an atom and they see the electron cloud and then they see space and way, way in, they see the proton and neutron and they go deep inside the proton and keep going and keep going, get smaller and smaller and smaller. And at some point, there's nothing there, which is really weird. But the math says that there's infinite energy there and mass, which then gets really weird because there's a proton right next to it too, with infinite mass and energy. So it starts to get really weird. Yeah. So what you can do if you want is walk around and retest stuff. Like, how does your arms move? How does your neck move? Is something different? Do you move differently, better, or whatever? Walk around and see how you feel. Your feet touch the ground differently. Can you notice something? Are you noticing something? If you were to notice something without thinking, what might you notice? And so I've been doing a lot of healing sessions with coaches and healers and having a lot of fun and seeing some big changes for people in abundance and all sorts of wonderful things with their health. And it's starting to really it's like taking off. It's taking off big. And I want to get this version of whatever this is, this version of healing or whatever this is, I want to get it to as many people as we can, because now is the time. I was running and you know how you think in your head and you talk and all sorts of stuff going on in the election and what's going on and you're on this side or that side or all sorts of stuff. And I was like, hang on a second. Can I control this or this or this or this or this? I said, no. So let's give it to God. Can you give it to God? Sure. And so it's like, let's actually do it, And then what can I control? So I can control this, at least have some semblance of control, like what I do with my life and accessing whatever this is. And what I noticed with my years of doing this, 35 years of helping people with healing, and more and more and more tuning into this, is I have the best job on earth, because that's my job, is to be there. And so I want to bring that to more and more people. So you can play with this, whatever this is, and have some fun and enjoy yourself and notice your life and see some results in your physical world. If you're a healer, a coach, somebody that's doing online stuff, we all know that 90% of that is not business stuff. It's the inner stuff, right? It's the fear and the anxiety and the stuff that makes it where you don't get something done and you'll do your laundry instead of doing your work. That stuff. Yeah. And so some of you might be feeling it. And so what I've got this thing, ralphhavens.com. You should write this down. ralphhavens.com/abundance awakening mastery. ralphhavens.com/abundance awakening mastery. And there's a little page to leave your email and get on in our world, me and Jen, our world, and get some healing each day with the different things that we put out there through our emails. And you'll come to a page, and it's a page that helps you get to this. And it costs a little money. It's not much money. Spoiler alert, it's 27 bucks. And I did that because it's really good when somebody has a little skin in the game at least. Now, the people that put more on the line, the healers, the teachers, the coaches, the entrepreneurs that say, you know what, I'm not going to go back to the old ways. I'm going to do my passion, and I'm going to bring it to the world, and I'm going to handle my own inner stuff. And I'm going to get this to people that want it, that need it. I've solved a problem, and I can help somebody else solve a problem. Those people, they have a lot of skin in the game. And so whether you're a teacher, a healer, a coach, an online entrepreneur, somebody that has something to help somebody with, or you've got your family and you want to help shift something, you can go there and get a whole bunch of video training sessions that I've done. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm thinking it'll probably be in the next week and a half maybe, is a healing event, and a day thing. It might be 3 or 4 hours. I don't know how long it'll be, but we're going to do a lot of healing to help people access whatever this is. Because my experience is this is the key to getting stuff done. All right, you guys. So walk around, see how you feel, move your arms and legs around, see what happens, see what's different. Notice how the world is different today just from watching this video. And let me know, comment. Let me know if something changed, if something didn't change, what you thought, how it felt, how life is different. And if you like it, click like, heart, so more people can see it, and share it. Share it with the world. Click the little button and share it with the world. And join us, ralphhavens.com/abundance awakening mastery. All right, you guys, gonna go have some fun with the family, and I will see you guys later.